You are now listening to The World Within. The World Within. With your hosts, Christian and Ethan.
Welcome to the World Within podcast. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Christian.
And I'm Ethan. And I mean, we didn't get an episode out last Sunday.
Yeah, we did.
But it's okay because we're here now, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. We're busy people. We live busy lives. Stuff happens.
We'll try our best to stick to our schedule, but I mean, we'll get to it.
We do our best.
We do our best.
We do our best.
Listen,
for you guys.
we're human. It happens.
It happens. But we just want to still say thanks for all social media shout outs.
Oh, yeah.
All of you guys, we love your feedback. Absolutely.
Very supportive, everyone.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. That's all we can ask for. More Apple Podcast reviews. So thank you guys for the shout outs there. Just mention it to your uncle. Mention it to your teacher. Mention it to whoever. Just mention the podcast.
Anyone on the street, just tell them, you know.
Yeah, and
start a conversation, icebreaker.
We have a cool little giveaway happening on Twitter.
On Twitter.com.
Twitter.com. We're just if you retweet one of our tweets that we have, you just go on our profile, and we're giving away some stickers for you guys. So check it out.
Definitely check that out on Twitter. You know?
Definitely check that out. So let's hop into it today, Ethan. We're doing the fancy case here. This is a very fancy case. It's very interesting, to say the least.
Yes, it's very interesting. It's very elaborate, a very boggling, I guess.
Mind-boggling, yeah, or exploding.
Exploding.
Oh, yeah. So it's the Pizza Collar Bomb Robbery.
Yeah. Brian Wells. You know, he is the pizza bomb collar guy.
He's the pizza
guy.
bomb collar guy.
Yeah.
That's not a mouthful at all.
It's not. It's his title. It's what he goes by. Not anymore. He did go by that. For a very short period of time in his life, he went by that.
Very short.
Compared to the rest of his life.
So this all started August 28th, 2003. A phone call was made. It was around lunchtime to Mamma Mia's Pizza.
Sounds good.
Sounds very good. In Erie, Pennsylvania. Very eerie.
Where does Dracula go to ski?
Where?
Lake Erie. To water ski. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Butchered that one. So, owner picks it up. I guess he couldn't hear, or he just didn't give a fuck.
He probably just didn't care.
One of the either.
You take this call. I'm busy.
So then Brian Wells gets the phone. Brian Wells. Let's talk about Mr. Brian Wells. He was 5'3", 46 years old.
Yeah, he was balding as well.
He was balding.
If you're interested in his hair.
He was a short guy. 5'3".
That's not very tall. He also was working at this pizza. He worked at the Mamma Mia's for about 10 years. Up to this point. That's his career.
That was his career at 46 years old. So
supported him.
He was loyal. He was very loyal. He only called into work once, and that was because his cat died.
And
I understand that. No,
sad.
I fully understand that. I fully get it. But so call comes in, and they say that they want some pizzas delivered to 8631 Peach Street.
And Brian said he'll be right on it.
Brian said he'll do it. He said he would do it, and it was actually Brian was about to clock out for the day, but he was like, you know what? I'll take care of this one for you, boss.
Probably just trying to get that extra tip money. I'm sure that's the only reason he had to go into this thing after work.
He lived alone. He had 3 cats. I'm sure he didn't have much going for him after this shift.
Yeah, he didn't have anything else if you needed him for anything.
So, Brian Wells, he just fucking got in his little Geo Metro.
Yep.
Which,
great vehicle.
Great vehicle.
It's great for delivering Zaws, you know?
Yeah.
Getting those pizzas out.
Getting those pizzas out.
Those pies.
The pizza pies.
Yeah, getting those out in time, you know?
And, so, he headed off to Peach Street.
Yeah, but, there's a little bit of a time, you know, everyone has a little time in their life that no one really knows about, but
yep.
His was this little time until he was on live television arrested by the police with a bomb collar strapped to his neck for robbing a bank. So
that's not something I want to be on TV for.
No, it's not a great one. That's not. I mean, everyone has their little 15 seconds of fame, but his was not great fame.
His was not a good fame to have.
Yeah, this is the opposite of what you'd want, I'd assume. So it was actually in an Eyeglass World parking lot.
Wow.
You know Eyeglass World. It's where you go.
Shout out to Eyeglass World.
Shout out to You think they have it like a little spot for it?
Yeah, I'm
Maybe.
sure. This was the place where Brian Wells' head imploded.
A man's head blew up right here.
Not a sponsor, by the way. Not a
sponsor, Eyeglass World. But if you want to send us some money, I wouldn't be opposed, Eyeglass World.
Or glasses. We don't have good eyesight.
Glasses are expensive.
They are, yeah.
But yeah, so they, Eyeglass World in the parking lot. He has the bomb collar on his neck, and he's telling the police, he's like, hey guys, listen, I was just going to deliver some pizzas, and this group of black guys jumped me, and they put a bomb collar around my neck. And they're like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you saying?
what do you want?" And then they had him handcuffed at this point, and he's like, just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the police officers, it was a state trooper.
Mm-hmm.
He looked into his shirt because he was wearing a t-shirt that said "Guess" on it, and then he had the collar bomb on underneath, so you could see there was something under the shirt, but he wanted to take a look to see what it was. And he noticed, he was like, this is a collar bomb device.
Yeah.
I need to get out of the blast radius because it'll go off any second.
Yeah, it's actually funny in the video. Like, he's all cuffed and everything, and then he lifts the shirt, and you can just tell the police officer's like, oh, fuck,
He's
and
like,
dips.
Oh, shit. Right.
He dips real quick.
He said that, this is like 30 minutes. He's like, guys, you need to get this thing off me. This isn't a game anymore. Like, please help me.
Yeah, he was.
He's begging for his life like the whole time too. Which
right.
Is crazy.
Yeah, he was quoted saying, "Why is it nobody's trying to come get this thing off me? I don't have a lot of time. It's going to go off. I'm not lying. Did anyone call my boss?"
He was just concerned about what his boss was thinking that he was doing at this time. He hasn't come back. Boss was probably worried sick.
All of it's understandable until the last line where he's like, "Did anyone call my boss?" Like, what, are you scared you're gonna get fired, dude?
I think he was just trying to be like, maybe my boss will tell you that I was just delivering pizzas.
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so around 3:18, the inevitable happened.
Mm-hmm. The bomb on his neck, it started to go off. It was beeping. It was making a lot of hollering noises, and then it detonated.
And Brian Wells was dead. And
the even worst part for Brian Wells is that the bomb squad that was on its way got there 2 minutes after he died.
That's 2 minutes. I mean,
it would have taken him a little bit to get it off of him and everything.
Well,
been a hard thing to defuse.
Maybe it was kind of a good thing that it was only him and not some bomb squad guys also getting hit in the implosion. So maybe it worked out.
A silver lining, you're thinking here?
Yeah. Maybe. I'm thinking you know what? It's been a good week. I'm thinking positive here. I'm thinking positive.
Okay. Well, this
is not a story to read.
At least one person's dying in this situation, so it's not really that positive.
But was he good?
But was he innocent? That's the question.
So, police found several pages of instructions telling Wells how to rob the bank, how to remove the bomb collar, where to go, and all the notes were addressed to bomb hostage.
Yeah, and they were all handwritten, and the person who wrote them actually gave them little illustrations and such as well.
Yeah,
there was because they kind of sent him on a after he would drop the money off and everything, they were going to send him on a scavenger hunt to get the bomb off of his neck.
Mm-hmm.
So they're little illustrations of where to go. It's
nice. That's very nice of them.
Because sometimes you can't tell from just words.
Yeah, exactly. So they were good artists too. From those pictures, I could see they were not too bad. So as details of this case emerged, it appeared Brian Wells might not have been so innocent.
So yeah, everyone, as these things go, everyone kind of, you'll be like, he could never have done this. He was the sweetest guy.
Right.
His landlady, she would go on and say that he was just he was just a normal guy in Erie, and he was a great tenant. He would always pay his rent on time. He would always just be friendly and everything. as we already said, he only called in once because his cat died. That's pretty.
Yeah, good worker.
Right. So I mean, everyone that like his family and friends, we're all vouching for him here. But like, let's get that's kind of just happens. That just happens no matter what kind of case you're dealing with. You're not gonna, unless the person's clearly like not okay.
Yeah.
Like they're all there. You're gonna be like, they would never have done that.
Right. Yeah. No one ever expects like a family member or anything of doing something like that. And even if you do kind of suspect it, you're not going to say that to reporters or police or anything.
Yeah.
My
son is a murderer,
I knew he was a piece of shit from day one. So no one says that. Yeah. And so he arrived at the address around 2 p.m. and the address, when he showed up, it wasn't a home, but it was actually a TV transmission tower site in like this wooded area. You had to take like a dirt road to get to it, kind of thing.
Sometimes you just want some pizza while you're working.
Yeah,
on the TV transmission.
But he arrived in it's kind of shaky. It
wasn't the workers.
It's kind of shaky on when he arrived there on like kind of what went down, because when the police like went to the site, they saw his Geo Metro tire tracks, and they saw his footprints, but they didn't see anyone else's footprints.
It's kind of like in a secluded area too, like it's in like a little wooded, secluded area a little bit,
right? And they were able to find just his stuff, like as if maybe he kind of pulled up, walked around to kind of like prove that he was there if he was in on this,
and then moved to another place.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And the only thing that is for sure about this location is this is where the bomb collar was placed on him. And 20 minutes later, at 2:20, he walked into the PNC Bank wearing the bomb collar.
Yeah, so he walks in as, he's Joe Cool,
Yeah.
He doesn't worry about it, he's just calm.
Yeah.
There was a few witnesses in the bank that just said that he just seemed like he wasn't worried about having this bomb on his neck or anything.
Right. He didn't appear spooked or scared or... Yeah, they were kind of weirded out by how calm he was.
Yeah, he comes in, he's looking like a character. He has the t-shirt that says Guess on it. He has a big thing like kind of poking out from his chest.
Yeah, it looks like he wrote Guess like with a Sharpie.
Yeah,
which no one throughout this whole story that we're going to be telling you guys, it literally doesn't say anything about this shirt and why he wrote Guess on it.
Well, it's kind of like guess what's underneath it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of weird.
No one ever guessed.
No one guessed.
They kind of just looked.
He just showed. He just was like,
there was no guess.
Yeah, there's no guess in here.
He walks in with that. He's already looking like a character with that, but he also has this cane that's actually a shotgun. It looks a little goofy, but I mean, if you at a quick glance, you would just think it was a cane.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you look at it, you're like, that's not a cane. That's a shotgun. That's a gun that you have in your hand.
There's literally a huge trigger on this.
Trigger and then a hammer mechanism on the side.
What's going on
here? Yeah, but he walks in with that. He goes up to the teller and he hands the teller an envelope. And inside there's a little letter, and it stated, it said, gather employees with access codes to the vault and work fast to fill bag with $250K. You only have 15 minutes.
And 15 minutes is a lot of time.
To put $250,000 in a bag?
Yeah.
How slow does the vault door open? How long would it take to gather all the employees that have access codes?
I can tell you.
What if Joe is taking a crap on the second floor? Mary Sue is in the, other woman's bathroom. And then you have two guys, just out on lunch break.
Get your shit together.
Gotta get them clocked back in, and then you gotta get them...
I have a cane gun. You better hurry your asses up. But it's only one
shot, so...
That's true. They don't know that. They don't know that. But I can tell you what happened. So he lifted his shirt to show the bomb. The teller said there's no way, blah, blah, blah. And they couldn't open the vault. Could only give him $8,702.
Yeah. And he was like...
Which isn't
At this point, if it was me in the situation, I'd be like, there's no point. I'm kind of just deciding which way I want to go out at this point.
Yeah.
He decided to grab a dum-dum from the counter and walk out of the bank calmly, just sucking on the dum-dum.
I mean, yeah. I mean, go
Not
out.
Not a sponsor, but it could be.
Go out in style, What I'm curious about, and they never go into it, What flavor did he choose?
That's a good question.
I would choose blue raz.
Do you think he chose the flavor?
Or just random pick?
He's like, I'm going to let fate decide everything from now on.
Well, that's a bad choice for him. That was a horrible decision for him.
You think you'd choose blue?
I would choose blue.
If they had the bubblegum flavor, the pink one, I think I'd go with that.
You're a bubblegum guy?
If not bubblegum, I'd go blue.
Blue raz is...
Yeah,
blue
or
raz.
like a cherry if they had it.
Yeah, cherry. You can never go wrong with cherry. I feel like cherry's a safe bet.
You can't really go wrong with blue raspberry either.
Yeah.
It's all kind of
there's a lot.
Is there a bad
dum-dum
flavor?
No. So, after leaving the bank, his next instructions were to go to McDonald's and go to the 24-hour sign, and that in like this flower bed, there was a rock with a note taped on it for his next instructions.
Yeah, so,
And there's a picture of the McDonald's logo on the notes.
A little illustration
I was like really proud of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's not it's not the worst pickup spot.
No, it's not bad.
You probably could have just gone.
It's a little weird.
That's not open to the public.
I guess like in a flower bed. Yeah, it's kind of a weird spot, but a lot of traffic. Maybe, I don't know.
But during broad daylight, it's a little weird.
Yeah, it is a little weird. So on the note, it said to go back to Peach Springs to the wooded area that was like several miles away. And so he got the note and he dipped over to Peach Street. That's a big street, I guess. And in this case, it's a huge street.
Yeah, so he was like, all right, they're going to be a little disappointed. I only have $8,000.
Yeah,
but
I'm only slightly short.
I guess we'll just keep going.
I'm short $242,000.
Already at this point, might as well just keep sending.
Just keep trucking, yeah.
But he tried to, but then the two state troopers got him.
I wonder why he was at McDonald's. You know what I would have done?
Do you think the McDonald's workers called the police?
No, I don't think so.
Like, there's this guy.
This is a weirdo in our flower bed.
I don't know what he's doing.
He's reading a rock.
Yeah.
But I would have grabbed a bunch of like cheeseburgers and put it in the bag with the money. So I'd be like, "Oh look, it's a full bag," and then they'd open it and they'd be like, "Oh shit!"
And then you take the cane shotgun.
Yeah, boom.
Wow.
And then we all die.
There you go.
That's a fun way to go out. Yeah. He went out a boring way.
He did go out. Maybe he was trying to do that.
Maybe he was.
It didn't say the police found a bag of McDoubles.
That's true.
But
that would have made for a better story. Come on, Brian. You messed up here.
Brian. Be like, guys, I got lunch. Don't worry.
Don't worry. I didn't get the $250K you wanted, but I got lunch.
Well, you already got the pizzas for them.
That's true. That's true.
You think they ate the pizzas?
Yeah, why not?
Might as well. You think they were sitting around in a van? Like it's a surveillance, FBI surveillance van.
Maybe someone lives close, though.
Maybe someone does live close. Let's get into the suspects here, huh?
Let's do it.
So I got suspect here. He's William A. Rothstein. He was this man was big. He was 6'6". He was also a hoarder. I don't know if you've seen TLC's show Hoarders, but
was he on there? Did he ever make a guest spot?
He actually, I think he died before that show was even thought of.
Oh, okay. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But of the show Hoarders. He was going to be in it. He's a big plot line in season 2.
Celebrity appearance.
Yeah. He was actually very smart. He was able to speak in multiple language, and he was an engineer.
Multiple language?
Multiple languages, I'm sorry.
I can speak multiple language.
Multiple language. He was also an engineer and a high school shop teacher.
Okay, so a man who could do it all.
He could do it all. Yeah. I feel like shop teachers are usually the fun ones.
That's true.
I'm not sure if he was.
His story sounds pretty fun.
He would be. He just doesn't sound like he'd be a person I'd want to be near.
Yeah,
always doesn't smell very good.
That's right. Least.
Probably just has the look of death in his eye at all times. So this was about a month or less, later of the bomb collar situation. Erie's kind of healing from this big thing that happened to him. But then the police get a call from here, and it's from Rothstein, and he says, at 8745 Peach Street in the garage, there's a frozen body. It's in the freezer.
Imagine being that like 911 caller in this like small town. You just experienced this crazy bombing. You're like,
what's going on?
What the hell?
What's wrong with this?
All right, I guess send the cops.
I'm moving. The address actually was his house, Rothstein's house. And the police were like, "Why do you have this dead body in your freezer? And why did you just call it into us?" And he's like, "I was just doing a favor for a friend." It's a big favor.
That's a good favor, you know.
They're gonna owe you one for sure.
It's like when you help your friend move, and you're like, "All right, man, I owe you one," and then he calls you up, and he's like, "All right, man, I need you to do me a favor." It involves a body and no questions.
Listen, a no questions asked favor. That's a big one. I'm not sure if I would ever do that.
Do you have any friends that you could call up and be like, "Hey, I have a dead body"?
No.
Can you put it in your freezer?
No.
Clear out those crappy crabs. clear out the burgers.
Crabs in my freezer. I'm definitely not putting a dead body in there.
Hey, maybe you could cook it up.
Maybe with the crab.
Yeah.
No, I want to enjoy my crab.
Put it in together. I don't know.
No, I don't think that'll make it better. I think it'll make it probably a lot worse.
I think that the police are on our way here.
Maybe. That's fine. This is all a joke. This is all jokes, comedy. Haha. But anyways, the friend that he was doing the favor for, that was Marjorie Deal Armstrong. She's a great person, I'm assuming. You know, nothing wrong with her so far.
No.
Except that the body that was in the freezer was actually her boyfriend at the time, James Roden. He was killed. Get this. He was sleeping in bed, and Marjorie shot him with a shotgun.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's just, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What was he doing? He was just sleeping.
Yeah.
He was, the police said he was dead for about 6 weeks before his body was reported.
Wow.
It was in the freezer, so it's probably not that, I mean, the coroner was probably happy.
Yeah.
Just kept it frozen.
Easy to work on.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst, thing for your body or for the coroners,
right?
They're probably celebrating a little bit while the police are like, this is our second big huge thing in like a month's time,
right?
So it was about 6 weeks. He was actually Rothstein, get this, he was a little bit more than just friends with Marjorie. They actually have been married twice.
Oh, engaged twice.
Yes. I'm sorry. They were, lovebirds. As these things often happen.
They broke up once, though. Engaged, broke up.
Got back, and their story's a little more complicated than the average.
Yeah,
it's fine.
That's fine.
It's fine. Except it wasn't fine because they were both terrible people. He agreed that he would hide the shotgun or get rid of the shotgun and then hide the body from Marjorie. And then
basic favors.
And then she was like, "You know what? You've already done this much for me. Can you just be a pal and put the rest of his body in an ice grinder?" And he was like, "I don't know about that one," and he reported it to the police.
He was saying, "You know what? I like you. You're cool,
but I can't put this guy in an ice grinder.
I can't do that. Like,
if you want to do it, maybe."
So, I mean, Rothstein here, he had at least some moral compass.
It's not a great one.
Not a great one, but at least it was some.
His line in the sand is not very. It's a bit too far.
And we're back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry about
that. The dog barking.
So Marjorie is where we're at here. Marjorie, she's a great person. This whole thing with Rothstein. She wanted him to put the body in the ice grinder. He said he can't do that.
Right.
And he notified the police. He said he was going to testify against her, but only for immunity in the case.
Makes sense.
He said that he told police that he had been feeling like more and more guilty, and he was actually at one point considering suicide because of Marjorie.
Wow.
Her presence is just terrible, at this point. So he said that he was considering suicide. So the police were like, "Let's go. We're going to conduct the search of his house." And they found a suicide note. And get this, the suicide note, it started off by saying, "This has nothing to do with the Wells case."
Yeah,
What?
you're like, how does this tie into anything?
Well, you're probably just so caught off guard that you're like, Wells case. Is this the pizza? What's the pizza guy's name?
Right, exactly.
Like,
that's probably what it was.
Putting it together there.
Mm-hmm.
Another really interesting thing about the search of Rothstein's house is they found out that it was actually only a 5-minute walk from the pizza delivery TV station.
That's pretty close.
A little more in, Rothstein. You're not looking like a.
That's really close.
Not looking like just the guy who was doing the favor.
Right.
At this point,
right.
You're looking not great.
Not great.
The phone that was used to even make the call, it gets even worse for him here for Rothstein. It's actually only a half-mile away from Rothstein's house. It's at a Shell gas station.
Well, there you go.
Just a payphone.
There you go. That's all you need.
It's fun. We don't have to worry about that nowadays.
No.
Because there's no such thing as payphones anymore.
Now you get a disposable phone.
Yes, exactly. So the police, they were in the house. They are finding all this, just literally, this is a gold mine for the police finding out all this. They found power tools, welders, and they said piles of old machinery. They also found, they got the bomb collar off of Wells.
Yeah.
And they found that it was a triple banded metal collar with 4 keyholes and a 3-digit combination lock. That's what the whole scavenger hunt after the bank robbery
was to get the combinations, keys, and everything.
One thing about the bomb collar is it's not what it seems at all. Like they would make it where the 3 combination lock and all the keyhole, and it was nothing. It was just like extra stuff, and the bomb itself. Here, it was
like two pipe bombs,
2 6-inch pipe bombs in like a metal box,
right?
And they would like it's like pretty much impossible to get.
It was a timer, box. Basically. Yeah, it was the timer that as soon as the timer goes
and
off,
they said that the police don't know if they'd be able to detonate. They would be able to be like detonated,
right?
So, but it was like kind of hard to tell because it was also exploded.
Mm-hmm.
So
something interesting that I was
recreated is
something interesting that I was finding out. Like in order to recreate it, they needed the actual bomb, that blew up. So they had to decapitate him to get the bomb off of him. Like they didn't want to work on him while his dead body was there. So they had to decapitate him to get the thing off, so then they could recreate it. So. Didn't really work out for Brian Wells here. That's a closed casket funeral, regardless,
Oh, yeah, regardless. I mean, it was going to be anyways.
Yeah. But not great.
And in 2007, a Pennsylvania grand jury, they agreed that Rothstein, he dumped over 1,000 pounds of evidence at a local landfill. So, all in all, Rothstein,
you look guilty.
You're none of this is in your in your field here. This is all kind of just everything's against you at this point.
So let's go into his little girlfriend, fiance, Marie Dell Armstrong.
Yeah, she's
the queen of all this, the mastermind.
The mastermind
is what they believe. So after Rothstein called the police showed up to her house. And they said that it was covered in dog feces, dirty clothes, fast food cartons, and that the police had to actually wear toxic hazard suits to enter the house. These people were walking in with hazmat suits. It was so disgusting in there.
Rothstein loved it.
He loved every second of it.
So did all of her men. Men in her life.
So Marie here, she got a little reputation of killing her lovers in the past before. So it all started in her love life in 1984. That was a while ago. 1984. She admitted to killing her husband. Yeah, her husband here, Robert Thomas, who she ended up being acquitted because she said she was a victim of domestic abuse.
The 80s was a wild time. You get away with anything.
And here's another fascinating fact. Her first husband, he hung himself to death.
Interesting.
Okay. So, not batting good. Second husband, you wondered about him? Oh, yeah. he died after hitting his head at his home on the coffee table.
Sometimes you slip.
Sometimes you slip, hit your head, and die.
Fall and die.
So, let me see. Let me count. Oh, okay, that's 4 lovers of her that have died.
She would put that on her Tinder bio?
Yeah. I'm dying to kill. I don't know. I'm bad at these lines.
I think like a Valentine's card.
I'm dying to be with you. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm making a killing to be.
No. I think that's enough Valentine's Day cards for us.
So her high school friends and everything, her high school friends and people that she knew in high school and everything, they said that she was super intelligent, but it kind of turned into madness later on in her life and everything. And so she was actually diagnosed with bipolar disorder, paranoia, and narcissism. And a big thing is the DA who actually went to school with her said that she thought she was smarter and slicker and brighter than everyone else, and that she constantly thought that she was gonna win. She was gonna be better than you, at the end of the day. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. And an inmate with Marie, she claimed that she killed her boyfriend, James Roden, the freezer guy.
Yeah, Marjorie's dead.
Marjorie's
dead boyfriend.
Yeah. She said that he was going to expose the whole bomb plot thing.
I could see that being a very real possibility.
Yeah.
I could understand where they're coming from on that one.
Right. And so she claimed that Rothstein was the one who planned everything, and that Wells was in on the heist. She said that.
She did say that. She said, I mean, it's kind of hard because when she said that, to be fair, she was also kind of just in it. She was,
Yeah, she was kind of saying...
shit coming down. Shitstorm was coming.
Because she would say that I wasn't in charge of this at all. I didn't even know about this, but I know everything about this. And
know everything about
that
it?
People were involved, but I wasn't in on it.
It may look like I am involved and the mastermind behind this, but I can tell you that I am not.
I am not. I wasn't involved with it, but I know everything.
And my sources trust me.
Yeah. So that pretty much is her story there.
Yeah, I think she's 100% the mastermind behind this.
Yeah.
And she's, how did you kill 4 of your loved ones?
Right.
With quotations there. And just get away with it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just crazy.
So, we can get into another suspect here, Kenneth Barnes.
Oh,
yeah. So, he was a former TV repairman, and he decided it's time to get a new career in my life. So he decided to become a crack dealer.
Reasonable.
That's he probably made more money.
Probably, honestly. So, yeah, he probably did.
He's in it for the bag, and he's not gonna fumble it until he did, because in 2007, 27-year-old sex worker Jessica Hoopsick, she came forward. She was saying that she actually knew Brian Wells, and she had, quote, turned tricks with him. It's a fancy way of talking about sexual relations.
Yes.
With him, she said that she did it at Kenneth Barnes' house. And everyone's like, Kenneth Barnes, who's that? And they're like, that's the local crack dealer. He used to he could fix your TV as well, if you ever need. So, she said that there were, those two, or, Kenneth, would always be supplying her with the drugs,
right?
And she would go and there's a little bit of a link with her from
Brian Wells,
Kenneth Barnes, and then Brian Wells. And get this, Kenneth Barnes, he actually used to go fishing with Marjorie. And they're friends. I mean, you don't go fishing with just anyone.
Fishing buddies.
You don't just get on a boat with just anyone.
No, absolutely not.
Boats are scary.
Yep. You could end up dead.
You could die.
Especially with her.
with Marjorie, it's almost 100%.
With Marjorie, she is the worst.
Just don't even talk to her. Just fish.
Just fish.
Get this. So they say Barnes, he was a little loose lips on the whole collar bomb situation. He's kind of bragging about it, as you do when you're a crack dealer.
Right.
And he was already in jail for, drug charges, unrelated.
Unrelated drug charges.
Job happens. And his brother-in-law, he's like, you know what? This guy he's part of the bomb collar stuff. I mean, get him. And if you're talking to your brother-in-law about being a part of this, you're kind of maybe...
you're just telling everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like on his business card and everything. His crack dealer business card. And he's like, okay, Kenneth Barnes, he's in there. He knows he did it. He's not the smartest guy in the world. He's like, listen, guys, you give me a reduced sentence, I'll tell you whatever you want me to tell you. I have literally no horse in this race. This is just, I want less prison time. He's kind of his own guy. He's kind of a lone wolf. I kind of appreciate Kenneth Barnes to an extent.
A little bit.
Not at all, really, actually.
Yeah,
he's kind of a terrible guy.
He's a horrible person. I mean, they all are.
Yeah, but he's the lesser of evil, I'd say. He's kind of just a bad guy. Not in the way of being evil. I feel like his soul is kind of just in it for the money. Kinda.
Yeah.
He said that Marjorie, she wanted to go through with it because he claimed that she was like the mastermind and everything. He said that she wanted to do this whole bomb plan because she wanted to get enough money for Kenneth Barnes to kill her father.
Okay.
You might be like, why, Marjorie? That's your father. Why would you want to kill him?
She hated men.
Well, she did hate men, but she also didn't like because her dad was just blowing all of his money, doing whatever. I mean, it's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it.
Right.
But she wanted him murdered because she wanted it to inherit the money.
Yeah, he was spending all of it.
She was spending because she was very narcissistic. So she's like, that's my money that you're blowing.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't believe I can't imagine
having that kid thought. Yeah, Jesus.
I mean, I don't know how much they talked and everything, but I would be like kind of distant from
right.
Like, okay, maybe you're not gonna get anything. Barnes, he claimed that he didn't know a lot of the plan because he was kind of just like friends with them all in this situation, but he told the FBI as much as he knew, and the FBI actually it kind of confirmed a lot of their suspicions that Marjorie was the mastermind.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, well, we have all this information here from him. Let's go and meet with Marjorie because she was also actually in prison because of the whole dead boyfriend in the freezer situation. Right. So she was serving time for that, and the FBI meets with her, and she said she would tell them about everything. If they would transfer her, because she wanted to transfer from her Muncie State Penitentiary to a place called Cambridge Springs, which is a minimum security prison, so it's like super nice.
Yeah, lenient.
And it's all a lot closer to Erie and everything. So I don't know who's visiting this.
Yeah, probably Rothstein.
Right. Well, no, he's in prison as well. Yeah. So. She claimed that Rothstein planned the whole thing. She's like, all right, this was you, man.
Yeah. She kept putting the blame on him.
Yeah, because they kind of she told them a bunch of information.
Right.
She told them she brought him to where she said she was in all these days, and they're like, wait a minute, this is literally perfect.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm not going to tell you any more until I get immunity from this situation. And they're like, well, I don't know what to tell you. You've given us enough to just
you've literally given us everything behind bars we need. Life. Yeah.
And she's like, it was actually, fun fact, it wasn't me. It was actually Rothstein. And, this was when she was like, Brian Wells did it and all that stuff. So, not great for her.
Not great.
She kind of just, that was an oh shit moment. Like, yeah, all my cards are on the field.
Oops, I accidentally gave you everything. Well, she was narcissistic, so she wanted to say it all,
Well, she also was like, kind of, look how smart I am. I can really give you everything and you'll still be able to get out of this free. I've killed 4 of my husband.
Yeah.
I'm scared of you.
Yeah.
Well, she
didn't work out.
You can't fight the long win every time.
So, what's that lead us? That leads us to our 4th suspect, which is
Brian B.
Brian Wells. Actually. Brian Wells is our last suspect here. So what kind of like led to him being a suspect is Wells was kind of too calm for this robbery, grabbing the dum-dum, not being in a panic state. And then the fact that he lied and said he was attacked by a group of black guys.
Yeah.
Like, that just seems kind of... Why would you say that kind of thing?
He could just be... I mean, but at that point, he was already, like, the police were talking to him and everything. Like, you might as well come clean. Like, why would you tell them what they told you to tell them? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Maybe you have a little bit of hope that because they told him that they could detonate it at any time, and they'd have people watching them and stuff. So,
but so in 2007, the DA Marie Beth Buchanan, she stated that she believed that Wells was in on the plot with all the other suspects. She stated also that she believed that they were all going to steal the money from Brian Wells after the robbery, and when they kind of saw the cops in the area, that they left Brian just for dead. Right. They're just like, all right, not worth the money, like, you're just going to die. It's just kind of a loose end, killing off a loose end. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what's fascinating here is Kenneth Barnes also claimed that Wells had been talking about the robbery a month before it happened. So you have Kenneth saying that Wells was in it. You have the DA saying Wells was in it. You have Dell Armstrong, Marjorie. Yeah, she's saying that he's in on it. You're kind of starting to think he's in on it. Yeah.
Maybe, to a certain extent, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, DA Buchanan, she said that investigation's over. Marie Dell Armstrong, Kenneth Barnes were charged for the crimes.
Right. And William Rothstein was charged, but
so they said that Rothstein and Wells were conspirators after all the investigations pointed to them.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't really get those because they both were dead at this point.
Right.
So I mean,
so you can't charge them with anything. Exactly. But so at the end of the day, it was them four set in stone that it was them.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like these are the people that they're saying.
Right. So she also said that Brian Wells changed from a co-conspirator to an unwilling participant, and that he was double-crossed by the rest of the gang there, and that Brian Wells thought the bomb was fake, and so he was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll wear it. I'll be the guy to do it. I'm a good actor. I'm 46. I'm 5'3". I'm a good fucking actor, all right? So I'll go and do this. And then they put on the bomb, and he's like, hey guys, this kind of looks realistic and
like really good job, guys.
Yeah, good job. And then no one kind of like
no one said anything.
Yeah, he's like kind of he's laughing, and then everyone's just kind of like giving him like a stern, just
it looks really realistic.
Yeah, very good job. Yeah,
so it's not great. It's not a situation that Brian, I'm sure, wanted to be in at all.
Right.
In any form. Even if he was part of it.
Yeah, I think that he was just kind of...
no matter what.
I think he was the loser of the group, like the biggest dude to pick on. He was little too. The other guys could have easily just kind of knocked him out, put it on him.
Right, or held him down and put it on him.
But I don't think that he knew that it was a real bomb up until it exploded, honestly. Because he was calm during the bank robbery. So I think he was just thinking... oh, you know what? I'm going to grab this dum-dum. I'm going to get away with this.
Like, even like when he was on the ground kind of freaking out, he still wasn't really until...
yeah, he was calm.
Until it started making the noises when he really started freaking out.
And he's like, oh, shit.
Like, this is a real bomb. Like, I'm screwed.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this kind of ends the whole, like, investigation of it, but a little recap of where they all are now. In February 2011, Marjorie, she was sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years. They got 30 years on top of that life
just
in prison.
So she can't get that parole.
Right. In 2017, April 4th, she died of natural causes in prison.
Good. Absolutely good. That was a good day. Probably a great day.
So Marjorie, she's no longer with us, you could say.
Yeah, she is dead.
Kenneth Barnes, he was sentenced to 45 years in prison at first. for conspiracy to commit armed bank robbery. But it was actually reduced to 20 years because he told them everything he knew. And they're like, oh, you're a good guy.
Yeah, you're setting it straight. Yeah,
we'll get you out of prison so you can get back on the streets to sell crack in no time. So he'll actually be released in about 2027.
Okay, so 7 years from now.
7 years.
That's not too bad.
Get him on the show.
Yeah, we will.
Interesting. Yeah. William Rothstein. He died of terminal cancer in 2007. There was a retired FBI agent, Jim Fisher. It's an FBI agent name for sure. Jim Fisher.
Sure, yeah.
He believes that Rothstein, he actually was the mastermind, is what he believes. He stated, the son of a bitch ended up winning. He died with all the secrets. He died taking all the answers with him, and he escaped punishment.
Yeah?
I mean, he did serve the least amount. Or I guess Brian did. Brian Wells, if he was involved.
Yeah, that's true. He served the least.
But Rothstein, if he was made the bomb anyways.
Yeah.
I think Marjorie was easily, everything points to her being the leader.
Yeah,
of it all.
she made the plan and everything. I think he was just smart enough to make the bomb and do all that part.
And he was like wrapped around her finger.
Yeah, so I think they were co-masterminds.
Yeah, in a sense of him being like the mechanical mastermind of it all.
Yeah, exactly.
I think so as well. I think
and having a big enough freezer to fit a dead body. He did have a
big freezer.
That is a big freezer.
Might be beneficial to them at some point.
Yeah.
If they had to maybe hide Brian Wells' body when he come back.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a big freezer. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Can you fit 2 bodies?
Fit enough burgers for them all after the bank robbery. So what do you think? Do you think Brian Wells was involved?
I think Brian was involved, and he got the short string of it. You know, he pulled the short string. I think he was in on it. They were all just a bunch of losers who planned on robbing a bank, and they were like, oh, you know what would be a good idea if we did like a fake bomb?
Yeah.
And then they kind of they didn't want too many hands in the pot of the money. I think they were all stupid enough
Kenneth
to think
Barnes
they're getting
knew
it.
that he had this like relationship thing with Hoopsick.
Yeah,
and he knew that
the prostitute.
He could kind of leverage that into making him kind of be part of this.
Be the guy.
I don't think Brian Wells knew literally anything about it until like he was kind of forced into doing all this stuff.
Oh, really?
That's what I think. I think Brian Wells he knew one person there.
Yeah,
and it was the only connection was that he had this secret relationship with this prostitute, and that like you could easily leverage. People will do a lot to keep a lot of stuff secret.
Yeah.
So I could understand him being like, kind of going along with it. They're probably telling him, "Don't worry. After this is all over, you'll have an alibi to get out of it and everything."
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I mean, I don't think Brian Wells was like fully involved, but I think he was involved. Like he was there and everything.
And we may never know because all of them are pretty much dying off.
Yeah, the only one is the one who said he was kept in the dark for the most.
Yeah.
He probably has a severely damaged brain from trying his own product.
Yeah, that's true.
So
trying too much of his product. Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, maybe he's a good guy now. Maybe he's reformed in prison.
Maybe, because
if that's not what prison's for, what is it for?
Exactly. Thank you.
And that's all I have to say about that topic.
So, that wraps it up.
Yeah, it's a good case.
It was interesting. It was fun to research. It's a wild story.
It is a wild story.
And I feel like not a lot of people know about it.
It should be a very talked about story. It is starting to be a lot more.
The Netflix documentary helped
get the story out there a lot. These stories are always fascinating because like this happened in 2005 or 3.
Yeah.
And like it was a big case. Mm-hmm. And like really not a lot of people knew about it until just recently. So it's always interesting.
Interesting for sure. We'll just keep delivering them out to you guys too. Sure.
So get those out for you.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening and enjoying this story with us.
Listening, everyone.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. See ya.
Thank you for listening to The World Within.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do.
Join our Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and catch us next week. Thank you.